I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with the cattle market summary for the week ending June the 16th, where we all know what happened this past week, but it came in like a grizzly bear with relentless pressure coming in, bearish pressure, but and we lost a lot of ground, a lot of market position through the week there. But I will say at the end of the week, we did have a little bit of a bright spot, and I won't say anything bullish, maybe a baby bull calf or something compared to that grizzly bear that opened up the week, but a lot of loss of value, of equity, of market position through the week. You look at the board through the week, live cattle futures, the August contract on Monday opened up down 230 on Monday's close. Tuesday was down 67. Wednesday was down to $3 limit. Thursday was down 37. Friday actually up 67 cents to end the week at 118.17, down $5.68 for the week. Your feeder cattle contracts on August, Monday was down 262. Tuesday down $1.60. Wednesday down 382. Thursday up 95 and Friday up 80 to end the week with August at 147.87, down 630 for the week. Now your spot live cattle contract on June was down even more severe than any of the others, and just wanting to keep that big basis out there all the time. Your cash market was falling fast enough to make those things meet up here middle of the month, but it just wants to stay out in front of it on the loss. But your June contracts ended the week at 121.70 for fats. That was down $9.55 for the week. But that's about what your cash market was down. Your fats through Thursday sold just short of 67,000 head in the 5-area feeding region, with closing week sales a full $10 lower than what the established market was the prior week. With selling cattle, starting out the week at 133, and I've been talking about it all week, and I'm going to end the week talking about it, and then I promise I'll shut up about it. But we opened the week on Monday with a big string of cattle, over 10,000 head, selling at 132, which was a full $5 lower than the previous week. Now granted, it was for 3+ week delivery into July, into the month of July, which was better than what the board was quoting, and we know that's going to be lower, but still, you give up, that was just selfish to give up all that market position, knowing damn well that all your rest of your feedlots are going to have to take a lot less money this week too. We kind of knew we was going into a bearish week, but why start the week out on a Monday $5 lower selling cash fat cattle? Well, by Tuesday you already had people puking them for immediate delivery at 133, and then it just kept backing up from there and backing up from there, and just every day of the week we had fat cattle sales progressively lower, ending up selling cattle 126, 127, which is pitiful. Your dress market, same way, started out selling cattle a few on Tuesday at 215, which would have been $5 to $7 lower, and just kept backing up. By the end of the week, selling those cattle around 208, if not even lower than that. But your packers were picking up a lot of plain cattle, odds and end cattle, where they've been pushing for those real high quality cattle because the choice select spread so wide, but they were buying all kinds of odd lots way back of the market late in the week. But you ended up with your weighted averages through Thursday with on live sales about 130.5, and dress sales around 210 on the weighted average. We did have some trade on Friday in Texas, not a lot, but a few deals here and there. Texas didn't trade a lot of cattle. Of course, they don't normally sell a lot of cattle negotiated, but had some Friday sales at 127, had some Northern Plains sales at that 126, and like I said, some dress sales in the Northern Plains around 208. But just a disastrous fed cattle trade this week, all starting out with them selling them out front cattle so much lower. Your box beef cutout values actually held pretty well this week, so the packers really getting it on both ends. they were able to hold those box beef cutout values near record levels. We saw a little uneasiness, a little mixed here and there, but still kept your choice carcasses close to 250 throughout the week, and still holding that big choice select spread around $30. And they're slaughtering a lot of cattle. The slaughter through the week was 628,000 on cattle, 6,000 more than the previous week, and 22,000 more than the same week a year ago. Let's move on to feeder cattle, and as we're getting into the summer months, we've talked about how our auctions are really waning, and most of them have gone to an abbreviated schedule of some kind, maybe every other week, maybe even not that often. But the big sale this week, and I don't have the results for you for the cattle market summary here, for the week summary, because I am doing this on Friday afternoon, taking my 3 daughters on a little Father's Day getaway, but I will have that as soon as we get into next week. I'll have the results of that. But at public auction yards, or better known as Pays in Billings, Montana, the Goggins are hosting the World Livestock Auctioneer Championship, and that sale will be on Saturday. Expecting a big 5,000 to 6,000 head run. I'm going to go out on a really weak limb and say that it's going to be a barn burner, because all your big dogs will be there, and if anybody wants to show their tail feathers, they'll do it at that big sale, because there'll be a good crowd to watch. But there'll be a lot of cattle there, probably sell near the top of the market for the week, not even counting the freight that it'll take to get them into a major feeding area there. But they will have that big sale, and we'll talk about that next week on how well they sold and who's our new standing World Livestock Auctioneer champion. I'm going to put my money on Brian Curlis from Illinois, but wish all the 31 competitors good luck there. Now, talking about your cattle that are moving through the summer, your feeder cattle, the big question is, where is our market going to be for green yearlings coming off grass and starting out on your double stock pastures through the Flint Hills and into the Osage and places like that? We've started seeing a few of your video sales to give us an idea of what those cattle are going to bring. Superior Livestock held their Corn Belt Classic, Council Bluffs, Iowa there this Wednesday and Thursday. They offered 72,500 head. They did have several scratches the way the market opened up the week, and guys kind of got spooked a little bit, and that's human nature, but it didn't hurt to sell any, but had several scratches of some feature lots there, and had a few POs, but for the most part had a pretty good sale. And I wanted to go through and pick out a lot that I thought was kind of indicative of what this summer yearling market's going to be. The one I chose was Drummond Land and Cattle out of Maple City, Kansas, which sits just east of Ark City there, and kind of in between the Flint Hills and the Osage, so kind of a good test of that. These cattle were due to deliver the first half of July. There was a big string of them, 615 head of yearling steers to weigh 900 pounds when they deliver at 151.85. And that would be a really good test of the market, and kind of on the high end. Really, you look at kind of what set the pattern for those green yearlings coming off grass here in July. They're selling between 145 and 152 on that auction. And if you look at the average on those, they had over 2,100 head for July delivery, weighing from 8.5 to 9 base weight there, and the average on those was 149.84. So not quite 150, but that's something to shoot for, guys, if you got a lot of yearling steers turned out up there in that country. You look at your immediate delivery market, your current market here, your real-time index on Beef Market Central ended the week close to 143.89. That would be down 860 from last week's close. Your cash feeder steers in the auctions sold $5 to $10 lower this week. We've lost a lot of ground, and not a lot of cattle to really push the market. But like I said, when we get a little bit further along, closer into July, we're going to see more of these big strings of cattle come off of the grass, and that's where your market will be. You want to look for some big video sales coming up here in the next few weeks. Superior Livestock Auctions next big sales coming up with a lot of grass yearlings on there will be June 22nd, the tall grass special there. Then they've got another 2-day special coming up June 29th and 30th. So that'll be another market setter. Cattle Country Video out of Torrington, Wyoming there will have a big video sale on June the 29th. All this right around the 4th of July is when we're going to find out what that market's going to be. Look at Western Video Market. They'll have some cattle predominantly further to the west, but a lot of good grass cattle there. Have those July 10th and 12th. You can bid and view right here on dvauction.com on that Western Video Market. That big special will also be on satellite TV, but you can view and bid on dvauction.com. Another video sale that will be on dvauction.com is Joplin Regional Stockyards Video. They'll have a big video special, and they'll have a lot of those Flint Hill yearlings on there July the 7th. And that's gotten to be a really big sale. And you can bid and watch that on dvauction.com or go to joplinstockyards.com, and it'll access you to DV Auctions bid console. But you look at individual quote here late in the week. Bluegrass Stockyards in Richmond, Kentucky at 10:30 on Friday morning had a load of 833 pound steers way out east there at 150. So from our DV Auction home office here in Canyon, Texas, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.